From family events to volunteer opportunities to community happenings, there is a lot going on in your community. Learn about all the possibilities and opportunities on this episode of Community Hotline.
Hi, and welcome to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel. We're here at MetroEast Community Media in Gresham, Oregon. With me tonight, we have a full show here tonight, and starting out, we're going to talk with a gentleman who is representing two organizations. I have with me Sroel Brockman. Sroel, welcome. It's
Thank you,
nice to
Monica.
have you here.
Thank you.
You are here as a volunteer for ARROW, which is the Alternative Education Resource Organization, and also you are an art teacher at Oregon Outreach.
That's correct.
Okay,
That's
so
correct.
you're wearing two hats tonight.
Yeah.
Tell me, Sroel, first of all, about ARROW, about the Alternative Education Resource Organization. How did you get involved with that, and what's that all about?
Well, basically, I've been an alternative educator for a number of years, and I found this organization because they came to Portland last year to do a conference here, and it was really exciting. And the organization represents alternative educational views, all different kinds, and from Montessori to Waldorf to Reggio Emilia to open-ended democratic schools. And the conference is usually manned by volunteers and has incredible people, speakers, and workshops. So that was something that I felt very close to, and I became a volunteer.
So you've been in alternative education for quite some time, you said?
Yes.
Okay, because obviously the public school system doesn't always work for every child.
That's correct.
And even some of the private schools don't work for every child, and the alternative schools give an option.
Yes.
For some of those kids. What does ARROW, what is their main focus? Are they just trying to bring different people together that are interested in alternative education? Is that kind of the mission of the organization?
The main focus is an educational one, and it's trying to help people come to understand, and sometimes it's preaching to the choir, but that's great because we all need to learn new material.
Sure.
And to bring people in who are have no idea what alternative education can be like. So in this instance, there are many, many workshops and many different points of view presented at the conferences. And it's all focused, a lot of it is focused on the conference. There also are classes that are offered online in order to help you start your own school.
Oh, wow.
So, and that's a very exciting option for many, many people. And these schools tend to be free schools or democratic schools, which mean students have a large say in the development of the curriculum, and they don't do testing.
Oh, really?
It's all usually project-based and initiated by the students. Teachers act as guides, facilitators, mentors.
But it meets all the guidelines for graduation.
Yes, it will. Well, in many instances it does. They don't follow state standards or federal standards, but the students very often can take the tests that are necessary in order to acquire their high school diplomas.
Okay, okay. Now, the conference itself, give me an example of maybe some of the workshops that someone might attend at the conference. What did you go to last?
Well, I went to a number that were about arts, using the arts and at-risk kids, and that's one of my focus areas in education. And so I didn't offer them, I just went to them, and that was really exciting. I'm just trying to think now about creativity, how to be a creative teacher and how to make your classroom structured so that students use their optimum creativity. So that's a very exciting possibility.
Who all would go to this besides a teacher? Obviously a teacher would have an interest in it, but who else should go to something like this?
Many, many students come
from
schools, and they come with their teachers and they come with their parents and other educators as well. Other educators that may be not teaching at the moment, administrators that want to find out other options.
I like the idea of the administrators going.
Yeah,
because, you know, sometimes people kind of are in a box and they forget to think there's other ways to do things.
Yeah,
So
these are very mind expanding.
yes, I imagine they are. There's a speaker that you were telling me about earlier that's going to be at this year's conference. Can you tell me just a little bit about him?
Yes, Sir Ken Robinson, who's a British educator, and he was knighted by the Queen of England, which is very nice.
Yes.
And he is going to be talking about creativity, how to not lose it and how to develop it, and how to find your passion, which are two of his books. One book that he had written was Out of Our Minds, and the other is The Element. Out of Our Minds is about finding your passion, finding creativity and developing that, and The Element is about finding your passion and how that can change everything in your life. Wow. And I agree 100%.
Yeah, I bet. So your life has been devoted to teaching art, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so you are an art teacher at Oregon Outreach. Tell me a little bit about Oregon Outreach.
Oregon Outreach is a nonprofit organization that runs a number of programs in association with local school districts. It has one program with Portland Public Schools, one program with Malala, and one program with David Douglas. Okay. I helped start a program, and what the intention is, the focus is to help students who don't do well in traditional schools, who have dropped out or been asked to leave for one reason or another, and want to come back and get their GED or their high school diploma.
Okay, so is it a school per se, or you say it's a program? I mean, do they take regular classes, like
Yes.
in regular programs? So when they're done with their program, they're able to take the GED test?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay. And this is located in Northeast Portland.
McCoy Academy is in Northeast
okay.
Portland
Oh,
on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
But then there's one in...
There's one in Malala, and there's one on 135th Avenue Southeast. Okay. And that is where I started an art program called Art Saves Lives. I've always known and worked with at-risk kids and known that the arts are so necessary in promoting self-esteem and creating positive role models and just allowing students to focus and calm themselves. And it's a very therapeutic art program.
Well, and art is therapeutic. I mean, it's a way for kids to express their emotions, to express what's inside of them, or anybody to do that without, in a positive way.
Absolutely.
In a positive way. So tell me a little bit about your art program. You have, how many kids do you work with?
Out of 60 so students, I had 45 approximately, and 45 students, they get to choose the program.
So you mean there are 60 kids in the school, but 45 of them chose to take the art?
That's correct. Oh. Yeah, that's quite good.
Your reputation must be good.
Well, they started seeing how the other kids were coming back from the classroom, feeling calm, feeling focused, and it's just amazing. There was no art program there at the time, so when I came in and was able to get some private funding, because the school district doesn't have any money for the art part of the program that they're funding, the students just gravitated towards it immediately and became very focused on it.
I think you brought some pictures of some of the artwork the kids did, so I think we should probably take a look at some of those.
That would be great.
The kids, they create this artwork. Do they get to decide which projects they're working on, for example?
Well, I will offer them projects, and they can then do that or do something else. It shouldn't be something, I want them to succeed, and I will help them in any way I can with their success. These are projects that I've been doing with kids for a long time. They're masks, they're paintings, they're structured assignments, and they need a sense of structure, but at the same time there's a tremendous amount of creativity involved, and once I give them the foundation, then they can go wherever they want with it. And so the whole focus was to have them have a sense of success, creative success, which they did, and they carried that success and that calm and that focus into their other classrooms. And what it did was immediately we saw a difference in the tone of the school.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that artwork is it's so colorful and so pretty. How about the kids themselves outside of just classroom? I mean, some of them probably come from home lives that maybe aren't real stable.
That's correct.
A lot of the at-risk kids have, a tough time at home, do you think this maybe can help them even in their home life, be able to have this outlet, this artistic outlet?
Well, it did for me,
Yeah.
and that's
Is that
why,
your background?
That's my background. I came from a broken home, and art was my escape as well as my salvation. And for many kids, they need something. It can be sports, it can be music, it can be any kind of creative activity, because studies have found that kids who are at risk tend to be very right hemispheric. In other words, they're right hemisphere, right brain dominant. And that is about intuition, that's about creativity, that's about passion, that's about creative aspects of their lives.
So play to that strength.
That's right, play to that strength,
Yeah.
and we see it every time.
And it does help them in other aspects of their schooling, doesn't it?
It creates a sense of discipline and a sense of order and a sense of focus that they carry over to other classes.
And maybe a feeling of success too when they create something beautiful that they can be proud of.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
So obviously Oregon Outreach is doesn't reach out to all kids. How is it supported? Is it through the public school system?
It's supported by the district. They sign a contract. The district pays a certain amount per student, I believe, and it's for a program that will have a lot of kids, as many as possible, graduate each year. But again, they couldn't find the funds for the art, so I had to set that up myself. And right now I'm in the process of trying to find additional funding for that. And I've we've set up an account with Indiegogo, which is an online funding source, which allows people to just contribute. And
so if somebody wanted to contribute toward the art program at Oregon Outreach,
they could do that.
Indiegogo.com?
Yes, it's Indiegogo.com, and they have to look under Therapeutic Arts Program for Alternative School Students.
Okay, and is that a tax write-off for?
It's tax deductible. It's a nonprofit, and
Great.
Absolutely.
Great. So people that are interested in supporting arts, and so many people realize that not having art in school is a shame. It's just a crying shame,
right?
Not to have it, because it does so much for the kids, which in turn just affects the rest of us.
That's right.
I want to just touch back one more time on Arrow, that the conference that's coming up is going to be on August 5th,
It's going to be on
the 5th.
That's correct, and it's going to be held at the Red Lion Hotel on the river in Jantzen Beach.
Okay.
And if you're interested in registering, just go to educationrevolution.org.
Education Revolution, that's great. Anything else that you want to tell me, Cyril, about art in the schools or about Arrow that you think that our viewers should know about?
Well, there is an organization, a volunteer-based organization called CAN, which is Creative Advocacy Network, and that organization is trying to raise funds to put art teachers back in every K through 5 school in the Portland area. That means all of the districts in the Portland area. And we're going to try to get that on the ballot so that people can vote on it. It will require families that have an income above a certain point to contribute, and those who can't don't have to, but it would be focused on getting arts education back in the elementary schools.
Well, you have my vote.
Thank you.
If people are interested in learning more about CAN, where might they find that information?
Well, I think it would be if they look under CAN.org, they could probably find it.
Great, great. Yeah. Thank you so much, Cyril, for being with me tonight.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. If any of you are interested in attending the conference, the Arrow Conference, be sure to check out the information is on our screen there. If you want more information about Oregon Outreach, you can go to their website also. And don't go away, we'll be right back with more of Community Hotline.
Many people are aware of the problems of hunger and poverty, but few realize how severe these issues are in East County. Every winter we find hungry and homeless people on our streets. Here at SNOCAP, we combat these problems by bringing together the people who have with those who have not. SNOCAP is a nonprofit organization dedicated to serving the needs of low-income persons living in the East Metro area. With the help of community members and the support of local businesses, SNOCAP feeds over 4,000 people per month and distributes clothing to more than 1,000 people per month. You can help SNOCAP by donating your time, donating food or clothing, or making a financial contribution. To find out more, contact SNOCAP at 503-674-8785 or on the web at www.snowcap.org.
Volunteers are the cornerstone of local communities, and they enjoy the satisfaction that comes from being part of something larger than themselves. Multnomah County invites citizens to participate in projects that benefit the greater good of our residents.
Help provide services to thousands of your neighbors. Sound impossible? 1,700 members of your community are already doing this, and so much more, by volunteering with Multnomah County Library.
Library volunteers help their neighbors by teaching computer skills, shelving materials, and promoting literacy in the community. The library provides a wide array of services, including lending popular books and DVDs, computer access, and life-enriching activities.
Give a neighbor a helping hand and spend a couple hours a week at the library, making your community a better place.
To find out more about this volunteer opportunity, visit their website. To explore other volunteer opportunities, contact the Office of Citizen Involvement. Shape your community.
Vienna Star was my guardian angel when my life was in shambles. They helped me find counseling and shelter.
Vienna Star is great. They helped us pay our utility bills.
And find health resources.
I'm in college now because Vienna Star helped me find scholarships so I could put myself through school.
Call 503-823-4000 to find out if Vienna Star can help you.
Gracias, Vienna Star.
This is the story about a group of kids who volunteered.
Doing something nice for someone.
We fixed stuff.
Did some art projects with the kids.
We fixed up his house.
We worked in the woods.
Cleaned up the park.
Did something for the planet.
We just did it.
No other reason. And you know what? It was great.
At first, they didn't know each other.
Well, that didn't last long.
This guy is really funny.
Me? These are my new friends.
Are you into it?
Call 4-H or check out our website at areyouintoit.com.
When disaster strikes, emergency professionals may be overwhelmed. Can you care for yourself and loved ones until help arrives? Can you help neighbors amidst the chaos? Are you ready? Get ready. Join a community emergency response team and learn skills that will save lives. The City of Gresham offers free CERT training. Sign up for the next class and get ready.
What is it like to have a loved one die? Each month, over 300 children and teens who have experienced a death turn to the Dougie Center for Grieving Children. Inside, they find a safe place where they can share their experiences and move through the grieving process.
The programs at the Dougie Center are funded by private donations. Thank you for making it possible for kids like me to attend groups free of charge.
The Dougie Center, because grief comes in all sizes.
Hi, and welcome back to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel, and we're still here at MetroEast Community Media in Gresham. Tonight we're going to focus on an event that is taking place in East County. It's a benefit for the West Columbia Gorge Chamber of Commerce, who I've had on the show several times. They do great work here in East County. This is going to be the Eastside Garden Tour. And with me tonight to talk about it is Andrew Huey, who is a landscape coordinator, edible landscape coordinator at McMinimans Edgefield. Welcome. Nice to have you here, Andrew.
Thanks for having me.
And Elaine Hudson, who is the owner of Landscapes in Living Color. Thanks for being here. Thank you. So the garden tour is focused on beautiful gardens in East County, which there are lots of them. It's a gorgeous area. Andrew, you are the edible landscape coordinator. Is that your title?
Right. Yeah, that's the official title. A big word for a farmer.
Yeah, for a farmer. Tell me, what exactly do you do there?
My job is to basically plan the vegetable garden and maintain the pest management and harvest and pruning of the fruit trees on property. And
to be used in their restaurants and...
Yeah, exactly. So all the produce we provide goes to the Black Rabbit restaurant, and it's my job to kind of coordinate with the chefs about harvest and varieties and crops that we're growing. And the same with the distillery with our fruit trees. We grow pears and apples for the distillery.
Well, I can attest to it. I like it all there. I've eaten at the Black Rabbit several times, and I've managed to imbibe a few of the beverages there. Yes. So how does this fit into the East Side Garden Tour? Is McMenamins actually a part of the tour itself?
It is. Yeah, the whole property is going to be on the tour. And historically, it's a kind of large property that was started as a poor farm. And it was just served as a refuge for anyone that had kind of fallen on hard times and needed a place to go. So they could go there and contribute whatever skills they had, whether it be farming or cooking or cleaning or whatever they had to offer in exchange for a place to call home and get back on their feet again.
And now it's this fabulous place where there's great restaurants and all sorts of different places for music venues and...
Right, yeah, we've got the large amphitheater now, and bringing in some pretty big names in the music world.
Yeah, I've been to a few of those. And we recently, MetroEast had or actually Alliance for Community Media had a conference out there in one of the outer buildings, but it's a beautiful place.
Oh, good.
So I think we have a few pictures of McMenamins, so maybe we can take a look at them and you can tell us what we are looking at that will be at the garden tour. Okay, what are we looking at here?
Let's see, that looks like the loading dock, which is kind of an outdoor seasonal restaurant. It'd be outside the Power Station pub. And they even host some small events there and little mini shows.
And you have a lot of different places around there to go, not just the Black Rabbit.
Right, yeah, there are lots of little small bars and gathering areas. That looks like the pear orchard there, doing a little Bartlett pear harvest for the distillery, which goes into the estate brandy that they make.
I don't think I've tried that.
That's one of my favorites.
Is it? Yeah.
That'd be the loading dock again, the little outdoor restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah. Once in a while we take the community hotline crew there after our shows. Oh, look at that. That looks good.
Looks like a pretty good summer harvest.
Yes.
Some heirloom tomatoes and zucchini.
Pretty.
Looking out over the vegetable garden again.
Nice sunflower.
That's the 3.5 acre, I believe, Pinot Gris vineyard, which goes into the winery, and they'll blend that with other Willamette Valley grapes.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Another beet harvest. So our vegetable garden is a kind of moderate size. It's only about 1/2 acre, but we try to practice biointensive and non-chemical methods, and even on just that 1/2 acre, we were able to produce about 4,000 pounds of produce a year.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And you can use all that?
Yeah, use it all.
Wow, that's great. That's good to see you're using good practices and good for the ecology.
Yeah.
I think the whole McMenamins crew is pretty much into that.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of
committed to that.
The mindset of Mike and Brian, the brothers, is to kind of find these historic relics and restore, reuse anything that's available. Reflect the history, and we try to do the same thing in our landscape maintenance as well by making our own compost and compost tea and wood mulch, and we start our own seed.
Wow, that's very impressive. That's very impressive. So people coming on the East Side Garden Tour will be able to find out all that. There will be people there, I assume, to show them around. And will you be there?
Yeah, a whole bigger mouthful than I did.
Are there flower gardens there too, or is it? There's herb gardens, I know, right?
There's really just a broad range of all gardens. Our goal is to kind of provide as many examples as we can, and just kind of create that dialogue with the visitors and hopefully learn something ourselves and make a better place.
It's a good place for people to check out Edgefield if they've never been there. And you've got the
absolutely.
Pool hall, and you got the golfing.
There's a spot for everyone.
There's everything there. Great. Elaine, you are the owner of Landscapes and Living Color. What do you do there? You're a landscape designer,
right.
Is that correct?
I'm a designer. I usually work with plants, and then I have other contractors or landscapers do all the hard work, essentially.
So you dictate what everybody else does. You do the designing.
Well, I have to. My bosses are my customers. They are my bosses in a way. So they, or whatever they want to. Sort of, initiate into a design, and then of course it always is the bottom line, how much you want to spend.
Right,
and usually it's suburbanites that I work with. Once in a blue moon, you're talking about acreage, and then I have to do, large scale plantings and stuff like that. Yeah.
It seems like most landscape designers have kind of a niche area or something they specialize in. Do you have something that's sort of your calling card or something you specialize in as a designer?
Yeah, I do all 4 seasons. I cover all 4 seasons, even if it's a small garden. I have to scale down and do the proportion business, so we go covering all 4 seasons in the small yard. And also now with people getting more into the fruit and orchards, small orchards or small berries or whatever, because they don't have room, I do the training of raspberries or espaliering of apples on fences, so those fences become living organisms in a way, and so because that's what I have to work with is suburbanites.
When you say all 4 seasons, do you mean that when somebody goes into that garden, obviously in spring and summer there's going to be flowers, but you keep it so there's always something to look at throughout the year, or something that's growing and beautiful in the garden no matter what season?
Yeah, there's a good blend of broadleaf evergreens and maybe some dwarf conifers, and then berries for fall and winter that will have color and something exciting, and that's what people like, that every 2 weeks the garden keeps changing, so you don't have petunias for 3 months or
and then nothing.
And so that's not what what is how I design. Most designers don't do it that way. So
it's good planning. Good planning. Well, I know people that are novices and amateurs like myself. I can imagine doing a garden. Sometimes you see gardens where people have this gorgeous garden for 1 season, and then during the wintertime it just looks horrible.
Right.
But you can work around that.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
That's what you do with with foliage. You use foliage plants, which obviously stay evergreen through winter. So because that's the 6 months that we need the color. We don't have too much. We're so used to our gray skies and stuff. So.
Yeah, it does get a little depressing after a while. We have some pictures from. Is it a garden you designed or your garden?
It's my garden.
It's your garden. Okay.
It's 37 years in the making.
Oh, look at this. Okay, so what are we looking at here?
You're looking at a pergola, and the pergola sort of went through a vegetable garden on both sides at one time when I had the 4 kids. And that's a grape. That's a grape on it from this end, and on that end there are more ornamental plants. So the whole reason for grapes, or even wisteria, if you train the wisteria, is that you can walk underneath and you can really enjoy the grape, sort of, draping down.
Right.
And so it becomes an ornamental feature, and yet it's also something that is edible.
Right.
And on the right-hand side is a vegetable garden. It's all raised beds. You don't see it. Most people get so carried away with the texture because it's shade. It's light shade without the root systems of a tree, which normally a tree and is always, brings in the shade, but it also brings in, it's a water guzzler. A tree is a water guzzler, whereas this isn't.
Oh, okay.
So it brings in the shade, and it's a cooling atmosphere. And so I have, on the left-hand side, I have a lot of textures, contrasting textures, fine textures, bold textures, foliage color of purples, burgundies, let's not put a purple, and then I have the blue poppies, which you'll see later on the left-hand side.
Okay, let's see what the next picture brings us.
That's a shed, and it's a glorified shed. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be covered because it's a pretty little building. It houses all my garden implements.
And you probably have a bunch of them.
Yeah, I do. And the plant on it, espaliered, is Camellia sasanqua, which is a winter blooming camellia. It faces the west window, so in winter I don't have to go out. I look out my window and there it's blooming, and then it starts blooming in November and carries right up to February with a nice hot pink flower. And the little artwork is summer. That's they have the 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter, and that's summer.
Nice.
That's talking about camouflage. Now that is my septic tank.
Oh my goodness.
Practicality always wins over aesthetics. I always tell everybody, because you need to be practical.
Well, there's some things you have to have, yes.
Yeah, you have, and in the city, if you want to have your compost pile, you still need to hide your compost pile. It never can be pretty because it's a compost pile, and the septic tank is smack in the middle of my lawn. There was no way of sort of, camouflaging it, because it would just draw more attention. But this, it sits on, I call it a pot on a pot. And it sort of is a glorified septic tank.
but it looks okay.
Yeah, aesthetically.
Ooh,
yeah,
those are gorgeous.
Yeah, that's the same area the pergola goes through, and then this is on the left-hand side. And those are the blue poppies from the Himalayas. Mecanopsis, yeah, they are absolutely breathtakingly beautiful, and they're quite a challenge. And as most seasoned gardeners will tell you, that when they come through, they look at it. They bloom in May, so it's a different time of the year.
Right.
And so when they see that, they are totally amazed by my prowess as a gardener.
That's why you don't see them very often. Yeah,
no,
they're beautiful.
You don't.
They're beautiful. Okay, well that sounds like fun. So how many gardens are on the tour? Do you know?
I think there are about 10 is what she said.
10?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, and some of the gardens are all different kinds. Obviously, McMinimans and your garden are totally different, but they're all on the east side. Whereabouts are you? Are you in the Troutdale area?
No, I'm in Corbett.
Oh, you're in Corbett. Okay, okay. So the garden tour is August 4th, which is a Saturday, right? From 9 to 4. And at the end of it, I believe there's a kind of a reception that's going to be held afterwards. So if people are interested in finding out about it or attending, getting tickets, they can go to the West Columbia Gorge Chamber of Commerce website. Do you know if they have information on the McMinimans website too? I bet they do, huh?
Yeah, there should be plenty of information.
I imagine they would. Okay. So you'll be working all day that day, I'll bet, huh?
Giving
tour. Will you be doing the tour yourself of your garden?
It's supposed to be a
self-guided tour.
Guided tour, but I used to give a lot of tours where my mouth would run dry, and I could.
You'll probably be there to answer questions.
Yeah, if people want.
You can be the the grand patron of the garden. Good. Well, if people are interested in going, I hope they do. I'm going to try to make it that day. I think it sounds like great fun. So, is there anything else you want to add about the garden tour that's coming up?
No, I think
just
you
come and
got a
show
wrap
up.
on it. Yeah, thanks so much.
Good. And like I said, it is a benefit for the West Columbia Gorge Chamber of Commerce. There are great people there, and they do a lot to help out commerce in the East County area. So if you are interested in going, please go to the West Columbia Gorge Chamber of Commerce website. The information should be on our screen. It'll be a delightful day. Hopefully the weather will be nice, and I'm sure they'd love to see you out there. Don't go away. We'll be right back with the last segment of this evening's Community Hotline.
Katie won't be at ballet. She's sick today. No, Katie won't be at ballet. She's sick today. No, Katie won't be at ballet. She's sick today.
When your child gets sick with the usual illnesses an unusual number of times, look for a pattern.
She's sick today.
It could be an immune deficiency called PI. Get the warning signs.
If you are experiencing physical, emotional, or sexual abuse, help is available.
I'm scared. He's been beating on me.
If you need help, or if you want to help stop domestic abuse, call our crisis line at 503-281-2442. You don't have to be alone. Make a call that could save your life. Bradley Englehouse, providing hope and safety for more than 30 years.
This may look like just a meal to you. To an elderly person in your community, Meals on Wheels is a social and nutritional lifeline. Many seniors can't leave their homes to buy food and have no family nearby. Sometimes their Meals on Wheels driver is the only other person they see all day. It takes just a few hours to help deliver much more than a meal. To find out how you can help, call 503-736-6325.
Who got some good minutes in the first half, hits the jumper. Tiffany Young, a junior from Hillsboro, Alabama, has 4. Young, 17-footer, got it. And Tiffany Young with a sensational performance.
You know, we sing for millions of girls, but helping out schools, that's the real deal, baby.
I know our love can multiply, 'cause you're the X and I'm the Y.
You know what I'm saying?
So, have you ever been backstage before?
Okay, guys, this is an abacus, an old school calculator. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like the circle and the square, our geometry is a perfect pair.
Now, why should kids know about gravity?
Well, gravity holds them down.
I once was one, but now we're two.
I'm spinning out of control.
I think you should wear a tie.
Dad, nobody wears ties to school.
Tie says you're serious. It'll make a good impression. And remember, you're there to study,
to learn, and to make something of myself. I got it.
Almost half of all UNCF students are the first in their family to go to college.
They have some great architecture classes.
Dad, I'm not really interested in architecture.
Well, keep your options open. And remember, no girls until
my work is done.
And I'd make sure that I got my lunch.
Dad, you're not going. I am.
I know.
Listen, we better get going. Don't want to be late the first day anyway.
Oh, yeah. And when you're the first to go, you're going for a lot of people. The United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Volunteers. So they take the equipment out. Yeah, you can check out. We have a mobile. Hi, welcome back to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel, and we're here at MetroEast Community Media. And tonight, for my final guest, I'm very happy to have a couple of women representing NAYA, the Native American Youth and Family Center. Thanks for being here, ladies.
Thank you.
Natalie Mitchell, you are the Career Skills Development Coach at NAYA. Yes. And Kim Factor, you're a real estate broker who is going to talk to us a little bit about the event that we have coming up, right, that involves NAYA.
Yes.
So, Natalie, I'd like to talk with you first, if you would. If you can tell me a little bit about NAYA and what your organization is all about.
Sure. So the Native American Youth and Family Center, the NAYA Family Center, is located at about 51st and Northeast Columbia Boulevard. It's been around a very long time, and it provides social services and cultural activities for youth, community members, and elders year-round. We have our early college academy. We have a youth and elder council. And we also provide a variety of services that create what we like to call wraparound services, so that anytime a community member enters NAYA or comes in contact with NAYA, we're going to find a variety of services to keep them involved and then bring in their family as well.
So it's a kind of a holistic approach to keeping everybody stable and happy.
Yes.
It's geared toward Native Americans. Is it only for Native Americans? Is that a stipulation that if the kids that go to school there, are they all of Native American heritage?
No, it is not. It is not a requirement for any of our services to be Native American or tribally enrolled. Many folks self-identify as being Native American or feel like they are in alignment with Native American cultural practices.
Okay, and all are welcome.
Yes.
That's great. And as the career skills development coach, what ages do you work with?
So I work with adults, typically about ages 24 and up. We also have a youth career skills development coach, and that role can help kids that, whether or not they go to our Early College Academy or they are self-referral coming from anywhere in the community, if they need help with their, say, their first job or their first job experience or internship. And then I'm going to work with adults that are either unemployed or underemployed or want to upgrade their skills or gain access to vocational training or occupational training.
Great. What about if somebody's on the job and they have job issues? Are you able to help out with those kinds of things? Like maybe there's some on-the-job issues that they're struggling with?
Sure. We're going to find a way to advocate for that person. So that's going to be a case by case, but we're always going to find a way to hear that person out and advocate and find ways to keep them stable.
Great. Now, I know that one of the things that you're doing to help out the community is a home what do you call it? A home ownership fair.
Yes.
A home ownership fair. And you're very involved with that, is that right,
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that, can you?
Well, this is the 7th annual home ownership fair for NAIA. It is based at NAIA on Columbia Boulevard. It is next Saturday, and it involves several aspects of home ownership, including rental, information. We have workshops in the morning and workshops in the afternoon. There are, I would call it a trade show format where there's booths of different entities that can provide information for people who are just maybe thinking about home ownership and wouldn't that be nice, or considering the possibility, up to somebody who's ready to get into right now. We will have rental advocacy for people who are in current rental situation. The lenders will be there, the title companies will be there. It's hopefully will whet people's appetite for another program that NAIA has, which is an actual one-day home ownership program. And that's an all-day program. It is open to anybody, but it is with a focus of culturally specific to Native Americans. And that gives anybody who is considering home ownership an understanding of what's involved with the process. How is it different from rentals?
It can be pretty daunting.
Very daunting for a first-time home buyer. Yes. And NAIA will have workshops on that to just kind of give some basic information of what a home ownership program is about. They have financial wellness information for somebody who maybe needs to get a few things in order before they're in a position.
That credit score a little bit.
Yeah, in a position to purchase. And they have giveaways. They have rental assistant giveaway drawing. Nice. Yeah, nice. As well as a big drawing for $2,500 towards down payment for someone who is ready to buy a house this year.
Wow, wow, can't beat that.
Yeah. No.
So last year or in previous years, have you been able to help people buy homes? You know anybody that's bought a home through this program?
Actually I do, and she's sitting right here. Now.
So you actually did go through this?
Yes, 1 year ago I was a community member at the Housing and Home Ownership Fair, and now a year later I am a homeowner.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
So tell me about the fair itself. What was helpful to you? What did you find out about there?
There's a lot of relevant information in a very community-minded way. Like Kim said, there's excellent workshops, so you can take a variety of workshops to, build your education level, whether you're a renter or you're thinking of homeowning or you're already homeowning and you're needing to know about how to make energy improvements on your home.
So even that kind of thing. Okay. So there is kind of something
gardening.
for everybody.
We have a gardening class.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you have all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is going to be next weekend, which is August.
July 20th.
This Saturday.
July, and so that's the 28th, and it's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes.
And anybody can go.
Anybody, and lunch is included.
Lunch is included.
Lunch. There'll be cultural dancers.
Oh, how nice!
Yes, there'll be a prayer and a blessing given by one of our elders over the event. Lots of raffle prizes sort of sprinkled throughout the day.
I love it. I love it. So you got some help there. I mean, you got some information there. And then did you make contacts, people that were able to help you through the home buying process?
Absolutely. Like Kim said, there's a variety of workshops. So I did take advantage of the financial wellness program to boost my credit score and get my financial house in order. Participated in the homeownership IDA program, the individual development account program, to leverage. It was a way to. It's a savings match program. So it was a way for me to leverage my money. So it was something that helped me meet my goal that I was able to access by going through the variety of the programs at NEA Family Center, and I was also able to make a connection with Proud Ground as a way to further leverage my power in homeowning.
Wonderful. So what if somebody can't make it to the fair? What if they really, really want that information and they want to benefit from this, but they can't make it? Is there an option there? Is there a website, something like that?
I would encourage them to call the main number and talk to either Jen Matheson or Loretta
at NEA.
And they can give them information on the home ownership program that Natalie, for instance, went through, when they start, what days they're being held, what times.
So there are other places they can go to this and find out about it.
There'll be regular orientations provided. The homeownership fair is a way to celebrate housing and home ownership opportunities for everybody, but also to really bring to light that there is a disparity in home ownership among Native American populations.
So obviously this supports the Native American community. How does it? I mean, what is the difference? Why is there that disparity? Is it just plain old discrimination?
A lot of that is, it's very layered. It's very layered, very multifaceted reasons why there is such low home ownership among communities of color. And this is a way to bring that to light, but to celebrate the opportunities, that there are ways to become a homeowner, to get your foot in the door.
And offer the help to do it.
Because we found that once someone owns a home, it gives that family stability. This is the first time Natalie's family has been able to live together under one roof. Yeah, big deal. And
it is a big deal.
It really is. And it adds stability to the community. And everybody benefits from it.
And kids growing up in a home.
Yes,
that's,
absolutely.
A stable home. You don't have to own your home to have a stable home life, but if you know you're going to stay there,
it's long term. It's not short term.
And you build those roots in the community, it really can make a difference, and it makes a difference in the kids' lives, I think. Yeah. So at NEA, tell me a little bit more about what else goes on there at the. In your job. Tell me a little bit more about it.
Well, in the Career Skills Development Coach, like I said, I'm going to help folks that are unemployed or underemployed to gain that foothold in stability. But once we have them in, say that is their point of entry, we're going to find other ways to get them involved. If they have children, we're going to get their children involved in our preschool or our play groups. Or if they have older children, we have Early College Academy. We have college nights where youth can come learn about college opportunities.
Oh, great.
Take college tours, write essays, get help filling out scholarships and college applications. Or
get ready for those SATs
and all that tough stuff. We have a Youth and Elders Council where we really want to put those two community groups together to build the bridge of our Native population.
I like that. I like that. There's so much that the youth and the elders can learn from each other.
And wouldn't you agree, Natalie, once somebody has contact for whatever reason with the NEA service, there's going to be services forever for them. It isn't just a one-stop one-time sort of experience. The idea is, as you said earlier, a holistic approach, that they will always have that connection to NAEA.
Well, you get them in at preschool, and if you take them through to being an elder, hey, you've got it covered all the way through. What else do we need to know about NAEA or the home ownership fair? What it's going to be? Is there a cost for the fair itself?
No,
it's free.
Always
free.
This
is free. So that's lovely. And then also there's a home ownership orientation. What can you tell me a little bit about that? That's in August. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's to anybody who thinks they might be considering home ownership. Long-term, short-term, it just gives them some basic understanding of what's involved with the homeownership program, what kind of services might be available to them, different financial wellness program, for instance.
So how does this differ from the fair? The fair has lots of different people from different organizations there.
Yes.
The orientation, is it just
NAEA.
It's just NAEA. Okay, okay. But there's a couple opportunities for that in August, I believe, at NAEA.
And hopefully they'll find it informational and interesting enough to where they do want to come for the full day of the homeownership, because a well-informed homeowner, future homeowner, is that much more of an advocate for themselves and empowered. Wouldn't you agree, Natalie? I mean, Natalie knew exactly what she wanted, where she wanted it, how she wanted it, and I just got to help her do it.
That's so great.
Yes, because you get a home ownership coach if you do enter a relationship with NAEA. Say you do. The fair is, like I said, a large celebration event with vendors and workshops. The orientation is an opportunity to meet in a smaller group and meet the home ownership team, and from there you can move to a one-on-one coach relationship.
And what I liked about working with the NAEA program and a NAEA client was that the support system and the partnership, and everybody, it takes a village.
Yes.
It really does take a village. And all of the entities, Proud Ground, NAEA, everybody came together to make sure that Natalie had a home.
That's so great, because it's a pretty intimidating endeavor to buy your first home, isn't it? Yeah.
I was well prepared. At any moment, I had an advocate, an ally, a professional on my side. You know, had a wealth of knowledge to help me navigate the home buying process. I was always the captain of the effort, but I had a team of people to get me all the way through to the end.
How long did it take you from the time you decided to buy a home?
A year and a half. Yeah. Year and a half, from the very first orientation, the very first thought of wanting to do it, to closing and keys in hand.
And you happy?
Yes.
It was a good move, huh?
Yes.
That's great. It is a good, when you get that key and you go in there and you say, this is mine.
Yes.
It's a pretty good feeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's the American dream. I heard today that 86% of the U.S. population still believes in the American dream.
Yeah.
It's a core value of our country. Our founding fathers originally said, and property.
Right, right.
You know, that it's a right, an inalienable right that everyone should have.
Well, on that note, I think we will close the show. Very well said.
Okay.
Thank you both.
Thank
you both, Natalie and Kim, for being here tonight. And if people are interested in going to the NAEA Home Ownership Fair, information will be on our screen so people can find out about it.
Wonderful.
And there's a website also.
NAEAPDX.org.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching Community Hotline. I have had some great guests here tonight. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you enjoyed joining us. So we'll be back next week. I'm Monica Weitzel. This has been Community Hotline.
are the cornerstone of local communities, and they enjoy the satisfaction that comes from being part of something larger than themselves. Multnomah County invites citizens to participate in projects that benefit the greater good of our residents.
The Department of Community Justice offers dynamic volunteer opportunities for people who are interested in helping juvenile or adult offenders improve their lives and help prevent future crime.
Whether you're a student intern, someone in a career transition, or an interested citizen of Multnomah County, you can develop professional skills, explore career options, and experience the satisfaction of helping others while providing a valued service to the community.
Volunteers with the Department of Community Justice provide tutoring, recreational activities, assistance for parole, probation staff, and a variety of other services to help offenders become successful citizens and ensure safe streets in our community.
To find out more about this volunteer opportunity, visit their website.
Sometimes it's important for kids to keep quiet. But if you keep quiet about a kid who talks about hurting someone with a gun, some kid could be quiet forever. Don't wait till it's too late. Tell a grown-up right away. For a free book about what to do, write to McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652.
Our mom and dad said that when Billy and I were born, we came early and needed all kinds of doctors. And my mom said that United Way helps all the places where Billy and I need to go. So when you gave to United Way, you gave to Billy and me. Thanks a lot.
You can eradicate polio. You can feed the hungry. You can help children do better in school. Because you can get involved with Rotary. Because Rotary believes that by working together, you can do anything.
Many people recovering from crisis find themselves living in an empty room. They can afford rent, but not much else. At the Oregon Community Warehouse, we accept donations of household items like furniture and dishes and give them directly to those who need them most. We've got people waiting right now. Call 503-235-8786. You have something to give.
Sharon's Ride for Seizure Freedom is a biking event to raise awareness about epilepsy and the importance of helmet safety. Wearing helmets for biking, motorcycling, skateboarding, rollerblading, and skiing can prevent new cases of epilepsy by at least 5%. Join this year's Ride for Seizure Freedom in Portland on September 10th in the Springwater Corridor. For information on this family event, call the Epilepsy Foundation of Oregon at 503-228-7651.
Verás que cada vez menos jóvenes se meten en problemas y más de ellos están mejorando sus vidas. ¿Qué cambió? Tú cambiaste. Personas como tú están apoyando programas como los de mentores, actividades después de la escuela y consejería de drogas que mantienen a los jóvenes alejados del crimen. Menos crimen no es casualidad. Necesitamos de ti, de tu comunidad y de programas que funcionan. Llama al 1-800-727-únete y te enviaremos un folleto gratis. Únete a la lucha contra el crimen.